Mong, 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 the song of the Siamang, signals of survival and sustainability of the Mah Meri cultural system in Malaysia. Hello everyone! First and foremost, I would like to thank the organizing team of the ICTM Pasia Committee, led by Professor Madehud, for making this online symposium possible. It's wonderful to be able to present my research in this symposium. This paper is about the Siamang, an old-world primate from the gibbon family, and the implication of its survival and existence among the Orang Asli, or the indigenous people of Malaysia's musical and cultural traditions. The Siamang's existence in the life, myths, and songs of the Orang Asli is symbolic of the presence of a natural cyclical process of production and reproduction among humans, plants, and animal life on Earth. The calls of the Siamang, as it swings from branches to branches, signify a healthy ecological growth in the forest environment. Its disappearance in the cultural traditions and life of the Orang Asli are signs of concern of the ecological health of the natural forest environment that surrounds them. In this paper, I will show the connection of the Siamang with the stories, myths, and songs of the Orang Asli. The Siamang or gibbon is native to Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. Literature from research on the Orang Asli of Malaysia presents two types of gibbon, the white-handed gibbon and the black-handed gibbon. The white-handed gibbon, or Hylobates lar, is characterized by its white face and hands. The fur of the white-handed gibbon may range from black to dark or light brown. The black-handed gibbon, or Hylobates agilis, has white brows and white cheeks. Its fur color ranges from black to red-brown. Both white and black-handed gibbon are listed under the endangered species list. They are old-world primates of the gibbon family known as branchiatas, or arm swingers. They have long arms and move in the forest by swinging from tree to tree. These gibbons are frugivorous. They feed on raw and succulent fruit, such as roots, shoots, nuts, and seeds. They help in spreading fruit seeds by dispersing it after eating them or destroying them through digestion. The Siamang in Mah Meri culture. The Siamang is mentioned in many studies on the Mah Meri myths, beliefs, and worldviews. There are two well-known Mah Meri myths about the Siamang. The myth of the dugong and the white-handed gibbon. The dugong and white-handed gibbon are likened to the human husband and wife respectively. This myth demonstrates the anthropomorphic origins of the Siamang. In the myth, the husband accuses the wife of having committed adultery. The wife denies it, but the husband runs off and swims in the sea to nurse his herd. The wife runs after him, climbs up a coconut tree to try to call him back home. Once she's up on the tree, she's shocked and dismayed to see that he had turned into a dugong. The dugong's head kept popping up as it swam in the sea. Heartbroken, she herself turned into a white-handed gibbon. The loud hooting cries of the gibbon is likened to the shock and dismay the wife felt when she saw that her husband had turned into a dugong. The white hands and face of the gibbon is said to be the white powder that the wife had on when she climbed up the tree. The popping of the dugong's head in the water is likened to the husband's swimming in the sea. The distressful cries of the dugong when it is hauled out by the fishermen are said to be the sounds of unwillingness to return home to the wife. The myth of Moyang Siamang. This myth is about a man who had killed a siamang with his blowpipe. After the kill, it rained for 7 days and 7 nights without stopping. The sun would not shine again. The hunter then had a dream and was told to carve a mask of the gibbon in replacement for the gibbon that he had killed. A mask with the face of the gibbon was carved from pulai wood. The hunter then had a second dream, whereby he was told to smear a drop of the gibbon's blood on the mask. After he had done this, the sun began to shine again. The Song of the Siamang. The Mah Meri have many songs sung during rituals and recreation. Many of these songs are about the native flora and fauna of the rainforests of Malaysia. Among these songs, there is a song about the Siamang. Skid and Blackden in 1906 and Wazir Jahan Begum Karim in 1981 documented a song about the Siamang. Although the text in the song differs slightly, both have similar themes. This song describes the physical and behavioral characteristics of the Siamang. It also details the hunt, capture, cook, and consumption of the Siamang meat. This song tells us about the importance of the Siamang as a source of protein for the Mah Meri. It also mentions that the meat should be distributed fairly among the Mah Meri families. If not, punan or taboo will occur. This song is a reminder of the Mah Meri egalitarian culture whereby food is equally shared. In the next section, I will discuss the song text based on 4 themes. The 4 themes in the Song of the Siamang are arrival and dispersion of seeds, hunt and capture, cook and consume, equal distribution. Arrival and dispersion of seeds. In Skid and Blackden's book, the song titled The Siamang begins with the vocables Mong, 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 in which the orang asli used to describe the cries of the Siamang. These hoots and cries are accompanied by the rustling of branches and leaves from the meranti tree. The Siamang has arrived. In this song, the Siamang is described as leaping and hurtling from tree to tree in search of food. The Siamang plucks, opens up, and eats the filling of the ludat fruit. After eating the fruit, the Siamang has a habit of throwing leftover husks onto the forest ground. This act ties into the natural cycle of growth and destruction, whereby the seeds are dispersed for new growth or destroyed through digestion. Skid and Blackden. Mong, 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 the cry of the Siamang, leaps and rustles in the branches of the meranti tree, hurtles and rustles in the branches of the ludan fruit. Fallen fruit husk eats the Siamang. Karim, 1981. Then the lone Siamang arrives. It wants to eat the ludat fruit. It throws periau, the shoots of the belantik tree. It throws periau, the shoots of the lidan tree. The fruit falls, the ludat fruit. Hunt and capture. The loud calls of the Siamang alert and hustle the Mah Meri to grab their blowpipes. These sounds ring the food signal to them. The Mah Meri hunt the Siamang with their blowpipes, which shoots darts filled with poison from the upas or ipo tree. The dart will cause the Siamang to fall and drop from the branches of the tree. The Siamang falls from the tree with a kakwa sound. The Mah Meri hurry over to find the fallen Siamang. They carry the Siamang over their shoulder to be roasted over a fire. Skeet and Blackden, 1906. Stalk him warily. Look very carefully. Take the blowpipe of the bamboo scored with patterns. Do you try upas poison to implant? Shoot and it sticks. Got him, the dart has. Karim, 1981. What is the blowpipe? It is the blowpipe with a dust cloud. Try to aim with planted ipo poison. Ungayip siap. It has not been hit. Ungayip siap. It has been hit. Cook and consume. The Mah Meri hunters roast the Siamang over a fire lighted up from dried twigs and branches. They season the Siamang with cumin, hot pepper, and black pepper. Once the meat is cooked, the Mah Meri divide the meat equally among their family members. Skeet and Blackden, 1906. Seek, branches of the ludan. Seek fire logs you to scorch the Siamang. Seek for seasoning of chancang. Seek for seasoning of jintan. Karim, 1981. Want to smoke the Siamang meat? And what of you? Look for black pepper. Want to season the Siamang meat? Oh, elder sister, look for hot pepper. We want to eat the Siamang meat. Equal distribution. Once the meat is cooked, the Mah Meri hunters will divide them into equal portions for their family. Equal distribution is important to avoid any problems arising from the act of punan or making someone unhappy. An act of punan will result in the likelihood of injury or sickness for the person. Skeet and Blackden, 1906. When it is scorched, cut up the Siamang. Do you give a little to everyone? Let it suffice. Yon flesh of the Siamang, sufficient for eating both great and small. Karim, 1981. The tasty portions we will eat. Distribute it a little to everyone. Distribute it a little to everyone. Suffer punan from the Siamang meat. In conclusion, today, the Siamang is almost non-existent in the life of the Mah Meri and many other Orang Asli groups, physically or socio-culturally. The conversion of the Mah Meri's surroundings from a mangrove forest to oil palm plantations in the early 20th century had resulted in the loss of habitat for the Siamang. They are hardly heard of and seen by the Mah Meri today. This generation of Mah Meri have little memory of the Siamang and its function to the natural cycle of growth. The existence of the sounds of the Siamang signals the existence of a healthy ecology. The decline of the Siamang's existence in the life of the Mah Meri is an implication of the ecological health of the natural environment in which the Mah Meri live today. Its decline as a form of cultural expression also indicates the vitality of the Mah Meri belief system and worldviews. The emergence of modernization, religious assimilation, and capitalism has led to their detachment from worldviews associated with plants and animals. In a time of religious assimilation and adoption of capitalistic values, I argue that perhaps the revival of this song, set to a current new tune, may contribute to strengthening the sustainability of the Mah Meri cultural system. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation.